إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أموالهم وأنفسهم. Mu'min, Allah has bought from him his amwal, his money, and themselves. That means a mu'min cannot be bakhil and cannot be coward, cannot be jaban. Because Allah has bought himself. It's not for him anymore. Therefore, you see when Sahaba radiallahu anhum were in the battle and that, Hanzala, remember Hanzala, Rasul al-Malaika radiallahu ta'ala anhu wa ardah. وَجَمَعْنَا فِي الْجَنَّةِ وَإِيَّاهُ. He said, I have to do ghusl, or they called me for jihad. Which one? No, I'll do ghusl later on. Jihad. Huh? Because why? Because he said, this is not myself now. Myself was already bought. I already signed the contract with La ilaha illallah. Therefore, the Prophet ﷺ said, see sahibukum, see this Hanzala, al-Malaika are washing him. He didn't take ghusl, but the Malaika are giving him ghusl. Because there's that belief. But things, when it remains theoretical, then we don't get the benefit out of it. So, from this it tells you what? Allah took your money, took yourself with this La ilaha illallah. So you become what? So you give everything you have to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Allah wants you to give yourself and your money to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can be on the right track, on the right pathway, so you can reach the goal. Because if you're not on the right track and you're not on the right pathway, then you cannot reach the goal. Then what is the goal of a human being? Allah يفهم us all. What do you mean? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما خلقت الإنس والجن إلا ليعبدون. This is your goal. ليعبدون, which means what? ليعرفون. So they know me. Before they worship me, they have to know me. And then once they know me, then ليطيعون. وهذا معنى العبادة. أقصى غاية الخشوع والخضوع العبادة. Before you can worship Allah, you have to know who you worship. In fact, some people worship, they don't know who they're worshiping. You have to know who you worship, number one. After that, once you know who you worship and why you worship Him, why is He worthy of being worshipped, Jalla wa ala? You have to not question with a sense of doubt, question with a sense of reaching the conviction, so you can know who you are. Right. Then, this is the goal of our life. Allah tells us the goal. So we worship Him, which means we know Him, which means we obey Him. And it's like Allah telling us, if you worship me, if you obey me, ta'at Allah, Jalla wa ala, if you obey me, then what? Then you will be on the right track, and then you will reach the right goal that I gave for you, which is Jannah. Which means you will be happy in the dunya and in the akhirah. And that's the beauty of it. In Hadith Qudsi, all of you probably know. Hadith Qudsi, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah Jalla wa ala is saying, Abdi, O my slave, or my worshipper, my creation, Anta turid, wa ana urid. You want, and I want. Allah is telling us, you want and I want. وَلَنْ يَكُونُ إِلَّا مَا أُرِيدُ. But nothing will happen except what I want. You want this. I want. I'm telling you to worship, you'll get it. But he said, I don't want to worship, I want to go do these things. No. Nothing will happen except what I want. أنت تريد وأنا أريد ولن يكون إلا ما أريد. فإن أطعتني فيما أريد, if you obey me in what I want, Allah is telling us, أعطيتك ما تريد, I will give you what you want. وإن لم تطعني فيما أريد, and if you don't obey me in what I want, أتعبتك فيما تريد, I will make you work very hard, give you full of hardships on trying to achieve what you want. وَلَنْ يَكُونُ إِلَّا مَا أُرِيدُ. And at the end, nothing will happen except what I want. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. He who doesn't obey me, then he will have a rough life filled with hardships. Now, before the day of judgment. Now, if you obey Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, what happens? This will have a reflection on your life. All your life will be reflected like that. On your family, on yourself, on your wife, on your, in your community, in your society. Everything will have that reflection that you have this obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In your home, you and your wife, why? Because you have the same goal, you have the same track, same pathway. Your wife says something, you say the same. Yeah, because the goal is the same. And the pathway is the same. So not the goal is only the same, the pathway is identical and the goal is identical. But if the goal were not the same, and if we don't have the obedience of Allah, then you say something, and your wife says something else. And the kids look, well, which one do I believe? This he or she? So I do different things totally. Why? Because they don't respect you or her. The reason is because the goal is not the same and the pathway is not the same. There is no unity. And the unity is by La ilaha illallah. If the unity is La ilaha illallah, then there's no problems. Therefore, if you have a daughter and someone wants to come and marry her, she says, well, you know, how much money does he have? Where does he live? What part of town? Oh, these families, I don't know how they can live. These people, they live in filth and dirty all the time. Look at us. Huh? He says, no, how much, what's the degree? What kind of medical or engineering? What did he do? What? See how different pathways, different goals? What happens then? They end up having the money and having the degrees, and they have no obedience to Allah. Therefore, the new couple will have worse problems. But if they remember the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which made the condition, إِذَا أَتَاكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. If you have somebody who you accept, who you like, his deen and his morals, then marry him. See, if they have that, see how united they would be. Both, she says, well, the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, if you like his morals and his deen, I like his morals and his deen. Do you like his morals? Yes, okay, no problem. No problem. Very simple, very easy. But if there is no hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there is no ayah of Allah, what happens? I want this, I think, no, he's ugly. He's got, his teeth are crooked. His mother is very, very mean. You married his mother. You married the man. SubhanAllah. Why? Because the hadith or Quran is absent from our life. If it was there, then there would be a problem. Right. And if you want to make ta'ah to everybody else, an ayah is trying to tell us your success in this life, so you avoid hardships, is to be obedient to Allah, not obedient to anybody else. الطاعة ليست إلا لله. مو المخلوق. If you want to please everybody else and be obedient to everybody else, what can you do? We have three options. Three options is you make ta'ah to Allah, obedient to Allah, or ta'ah to an-nas, to the people. You go and be pleasing the people. You either please Allah or you please the people, or the third thing, you please both of them, Allah and the people. Now, you cannot please Allah and the people, because Allah will not be pleased with you and the people will not be pleased with you either. You cannot please both. Yeah, no, sure. Pleasing Allah. Now, if you want to please people, how many people do we have in the world today? 6 billion? How many out of the 6 billion can you please? There are some people in this world right now, they hate you just because you are who you are. You cannot please them. And not by one, I'm not talking 100, 200, thousands. And your job is not to hate them back. Your job is to offer them mercy back. Because Islam is mercy to everybody. And that's the beauty of Islam. But how many can you please? 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, 10,000. There's still 6 billion. You cannot please everybody. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which is the best of the creation, better than me and you and all of us together from Adam alayhi salam until the day of judgment, could not please everybody. Not back then, not now. There are many people now, they still are not pleased with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can you do better than that? He has Jibreel and Mikael on both sides and he still couldn't please everybody. You can. So, stop trying to please everybody. Please Allah. See the point. So you can have a successful life. الشاعر يقول رحم الله من قال إن رضيت عني كرام عشيرتي